And today's winning numbers on the Manchester United bingo are conceding from a corner, again. Conceding at the start of the second half, again. Conceding because Christian Eriksen has left the midfield runner go, again. Marcus Rashford shooting when he should pass, again. A Manchester United player getting booked for dissent, again. Bruno Fernandes over-complaining at officials when he should be concentrating on the game, again. And so on, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. The one that I hoped wouldn't happen, that has happened, is Manchester United get out-footballed at home by Tottenham Hotspur. Now, I'm not going to say that that's not a deserved thing to say. I'm not even going to say it's a surprising thing to say, but it doesn't make it any less disappointing. But, again, to show that real lack of effort, again, you got to look at the fact that Spurs were missing several key players today. Yes, they had their whole back line. But no Heung-min Son, no Kulusevski, no Bissouma, no Pape Sarr. I think there was a couple of others as well. They basically had their starting 11 and Bryan Hill and their new signing in defence. And they totally and utterly outplayed us. And I'm not going to sit here and say that Spurs deserve to win the game either. I don't really think Spurs did deserve to win the game. You actually look at their overall chances. The majority of them were, once again, set pieces. And I'm not going to sit here and have another rant about set pieces. I've done it enough times. I'll put a link to the, I think it was the Arsenal game where I did an actual breakdown of why we're so bad at defending set pieces. But that was the vast majority of their chances. The goal when they hit the bar, the Bentancur header, the Werner volley. These are all from set pieces. The Oliver Skip volley. It was a header after a corner. Tottenham really didn't have any other chances in open play other than arguably that one where Werner went on his left foot and dragged it a half a mile wide. So I can't really complain about the overall style of play. It was just, it's the basics again. It's falling asleep. It's not even falling asleep on set pieces. It's our setup on set pieces still hasn't changed. We're still getting punished for it. And it's coming out at the start of the second half and not concentrating. Letting the players run from midfield again and allowing ourselves to give away chances. When we're on the ball, we're sloppy. I thought Garnacho had a poor game today, and I think that's also testament to how well Udogie played, but just creatively, we're just not good enough. I thought Bruno was really poor. It's another big game, where Bruno Fernandes has done absolutely nothing. He just didn't even look in the game. You know, going into this weekend, everyone was talking about how Bruno still had the most chances created this season. I'd love to know what the chances created stat means, because I sit here and constantly talk about how often Antony and Rashford and Garnacho shoot instead of passing to Højlund. If Bruno Fernandes is getting a chance created because he passed it to those players before they shot, that's not a chance created. And today he didn't create anything. The amount of times that we should have been punishing Spurs in behind and we weren't was quite frankly embarrassing. Straight away, the reason we scored that goal was we got the ball, hit it on the diagonal, in behind Pedro Porro. Rashford was selfish, tried to go on his own, got tackled, it fell to Højlund, and what a brilliant goal from Rasmus Højlund. I don't think he had another shot for the rest of the game, and that was in the second minute. And again, what a goal it was. Shows the exact sort of player we have got up there if we actually give him a chance. Granted, he only got that chance because Rashford was being too selfish and the ball just fell to him. But if we can get him the ball in and around that area, we saw today how dangerous he can be. But that was it. That was his only real chance all game, and it was in the second minute of the match. The amount of times we could have put Garnacho in behind the doggy, we could have put Rashford in behind Pedro Porro. Because, don't get me, I will complain about Rashford for not tracking back Porro in a little bit, but since he was that far ahead of Porro, the fact that Eriksen, Bruno and Mainu weren't hitting Rashford enough is quite poor on their part as well. But I also think that's due to the fact that the defence was taking too long on the ball. There was a point where Eriksen was going mad at Varane and Evans because they weren't giving him the ball. Onana was taking too long on it. Dalot and Wan-Bissaka. I actually thought Dalot was our best player today. I'm sort of going a bit round the houses at the moment. I thought Dalot all round was probably our best player today. But again, not getting the ball into the midfield quick enough cost us the opportunity to actually create chances. And from there, the whole rest of the performance just sort of falls apart. There really isn't a lot to say. I think the best thing we can say is that we didn't lose. And in a game at home to Tottenham, albeit Tottenham have had a very good season, but Maddison, that's the other one they're missing. But considering the amount of players Spurs were missing, to have 36% possession at home, where, quite frankly, we're only missing a couple of players, and they're missing 5 or 6 regular first-team starters. To be outplayed, outpossessioned, less chances created against that sort of level of Tottenham side at home is simply not good enough. So I don't really know what else to say, because I can't sit here and say I'm surprised. It's just the same old over and over and over again. I guess the only other positive you can take out of that game is the second goal, where Rashford actually went, I might pass it this time. Lo and behold, he plays it into Højlund. Højlund has the awareness to play it back to him, and Rashford's able to score. Do you know how many times Rashford and Højlund linked up in the second half? What more needs to be said? I don't understand it. I think the attitude, again, just isn't right. Something drastically needs to be done. I think it's going to be very interesting what happens next week. I'd love to know immediately what Jim Ratcliffe and Alex Ferguson were talking about during that game, because best believe we all know as Manchester United fans how passionate Alex Ferguson is about the style of Manchester United football and the way that he thinks we should be playing. He's going to be feeding that all to Jim Ratcliffe and saying, he would have been saying to him, I don't think this is right. I don't think this is right. This player should be doing this. This player should be doing that. Is that undermining Erik ten Hag's authority already? I don't really know. I think he's just looking to get some outside perspective from Manchester United people. He was with David Gill at the previous game. So he's talking to the hierarchy, the former hierarchy. He's talking to the most important player on the board from the Sir Alex Ferguson era, and today he's talked to Sir Alex Ferguson himself. So clearly he wants that sort of mindset brought back into the club. And it's my belief that he doesn't believe Erik ten Hag is the person to do that. So we'll see what happens over the next few weeks. But again, we just have to sit at the end of this and go, it's just another point. You know, where's the optimism? Where's the hope? Where's the drive? We're letting our youngsters leave. Hannibal's agreed to go to Sevilla. Alvarez has gone to Benfica. Palistri's in talks with PSV, and in that conversation with Bentancur at full time was clearly unhappy at the fact that he's not had the chance to come on the pitch today. So real concerns all round. And yeah, we're just going to have to continue to suffer for now and see how this rest of the season pans out. But we're not producing good performances at home to the other good teams around us. We can't expect to finish anywhere near any of those teams. And unfortunately, that is the concluding point of today's video. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments. Again, what's the next step? Can we do any business in January? I don't think we probably can. We certainly can't get in what we want in January. So what are our realistic prospects going forward for the rest of the season? Again, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, as always. I'll see you tomorrow morning for my next round of AFCON and Asia Cup predictions.